Tech Talk Tuesday. Tech Talk Tuesday. Tech Talk Tuesday. You mean Thursday?
Yeah, I know, it's Friday again. I was at the Ingram Micro Security Conference. You can't judge me for these things. Hello, and welcome to another 10-minute Tech Talk Thursday. I am Michael Weir, your Fortinet NAC 7 Certified Technical Account Manager for Fortinet at Ingram Micro. And today's topic that we're going to discuss is network access control. So let's start out with a joke. Knack, knack. Who's there? Me. Me who? Me, corporate PC 1007 with US Allison 84 logged in. You may join the employee VLAN. Behave yourself and have a nice day. Device owned by an HVAC contractor was used to exfiltrate the credit card information of... For those who don't recognize what I was talking about there, this is how the Target hack happened, where a ton of credit card information was released. It was from a problem that was going on with an HVAC contractor's laptop that happened to be led onto the network, the general network, the same one that all of the other machines were on. So problem is, in cases like that, there's a huge varieties and number of states of devices that are ubiquitous no matter where you are or what you are doing. I could put in who you are in there too. So the solution to the security holes posed by that is to make sure they are safely and efficiently sorted and tracked with a network access controller. So let's get a little background information so we're all on the same page here. What is a network access controller? So it is devices or software that control access to segments of a network based on defined criteria. We'll get to that in a minute. Why do we need these things? Because there's a proliferation of many device types, BYOD devices, guests, and general network complexity. And because of all that, we need to automate a system to manage them. There's no way a single human could possibly take care of everything that's going on in a network all the time. And then how? Well, I referred to criteria above there. We're going to use criteria such as device, user, location, or in the case of a good NAC, behavior. So what's the process behind a NAC? So first, there's a device detected by the NAC. The first thing it's going to do is gather relevant device information based on its criteria that it has programmed into its policies. Next, it's going to check that information against those policies to say, what does the device information match? And then it's going to make a decision. It's going to say things like, which VLAN does the device get to go to? How can it behave? Where can it go in the network? How much persistent tracking are we going to do? That sort of thing. So rather than go through this again and again and kind of relapse over things, let's just go see it in action. Alright, so here we are logging into my trusty FortiGate 100F. It helps if you type things properly, of course. Let's put that in there. Alright, and we're going to hop into the dash. Now there's not a whole lot going on here, so we're going to perform all these operations on my device, my laptop. So in my users and devices here, you can see there's my laptop down there, 192.168.100.110. Just take note of that IP address because that's what we're going to act on later. And now we're going to go down to the inbuilt NAC that is in FortiOS 6.4 for the FortiGate. And we're going to make a bone simple policy. As I said, there's not much on this network, and you would hopefully never make one quite this simple. But all we're going to do is say if we have the MAC address of my PC, I am an administrator, I want to be thrown right into the management VLAN. All set up. Now, of course, these read down in order like everything else, so feel free to drag them around and reorder them. And what you can't see in the background right now is I am unplugging my laptop from one Ethernet port and plug it into another, so at this time I get reauthorized into the Mac. Previously I was just on one of the front faceplate ports on the 100F. That is not subject to the NAC, only the ports on switches are subject to the NAC. And so here we are logging back in again. I'm going to type it correctly this time. So now we are in. We're just going to go back to our users and devices again on the dashboard here. And if we look in, we're going to find my laptop again. And you can see that I've been thrown into the management VLAN of an address 10.0.100.2. And that's just about as simple as you can get. It really doesn't get more complicated than that. This is really the basis for all NACs. Obviously, you're going to set up much more complicated policies, maybe some wildcard MAC addresses so all your phones go to a certain VLAN, something along those lines. It's definitely going to get better than what I have right here. I just wanted to show you the basics so that we have some common ground to speak from. Obviously, that was an incredibly simple and bare bones explanation of what a NAC is and a demonstration of just the very minimal capabilities a NAC should have. So let's talk about some practical applications for higher level functions of a NAC. So one of the first ones would be IoT or OT. This is steering and enforcing rules on headless devices, brainless devices, or things that otherwise can't act on their own. We're putting them where we need them to be, and we're directing their action and tracking their behavior to make sure nothing goes wrong. Another thing that could be for would be BYOD, bring your own device, or shared devices, the sensing and steering of devices based on more than one criteria. For example, think about a computer lab in a high school or something like that, where there's PCs and laptops that are shared, but could be shared between both students and teachers and other staff and that sort of thing. So we can't sort just based on the MAC address of the device because there might be different people logged into the device. So we say we're going to sort by MAC address of the device and by user that's logged in, to which VLAN they go to and which policies get applied and all that kind of thing. Another common use is guests. It's people who need network access but need to be actively restricted. This is actually one of the most common uses for a NAC. You're going to go to hotels and you'll notice that when you're logging into their network, there's a brief redirect. Oftentimes it's by a forward NAC, sometimes it's by ICE or something along those lines that's going to put you where you need to be. And then, of course, the last thing is infections. This brings up my favorite botnet of all time, the Mirai botnet, where a bunch of headless devices that still had default passwords on them were infected and used in a DDoS attack. A good NAC is going to see that behavior and say, wow, that's an anomalous type of traffic and volume of traffic passing from that device out to the network. Time to put them in a quarantine VLAN, or set them into a policy that sends everything to a black hole or something along those lines, just to protect everything that's going on. So how do we make this into a call to action? Like I said before, there's more stuff going on in networks than humans can possibly handle at this point. No admin can handle every device on a network, so let's let a NAC do it for them. It's ease and it's security. Alright, thank you for watching. If you have any questions, issues, comments, concerns, things you want to raise with me, that is my email address and my office phone number up there. Feel free to pop in, and anything else you need, I'm here for you. I am your Techie Mike, and you guys have yourselves out there a good day.